As President and Chief Executive Officer of Marriott International, Inc., Arne Sorenson has built his tenure on the bedrock of Marriott International's core values: putting people first, pursuing excellence, acting with integrity, embracing change, and serving our world. Over the many years he has supported NCCF, he unselfishly has lent his vision and inspiration to ensuring that the former orphanage has successfully served as both an advocate within this national capital region that the Marriott's corporate headquarters also shares with homeless families and maltreated children and youth. This corporate leader manifests a long view and consistent investment towards building community and to demonstrating exceptional social responsibility that matters. He is a world citizen who promotes the power of hospitality and generosity throughout our planet. The National Center for Children and Families is proud to present Arne Sorenson with the 2020 Humanitarian Lifetime Impact Award.
I'm delighted to participate in the first virtual live stream gala for the National Center for Children and Families. Everything is virtual now, even special celebrations like these. I'm glad NCCF hasn't missed a beat. Tonight's entertainment is exceptional, featuring some of the best young talent in DC, including our own Drew Olivia Tillman. Even though we can't get together in person for the gala, the reason we're all gathered tonight hasn't changed from previous years and is more important than ever. Tonight's theme, the heart of community, says it all. We're living in unprecedented times, which means we need unprecedented efforts to eradicate poverty and provide support for vulnerable families, children, and youth. COVID-19 has been a horrible event for all of humankind. But for those grappling with poverty, this pandemic has been crushing. A poor economic status is a risk factor in contracting the disease, and it's amplified by substandard housing conditions, essential jobs on the front lines, the need to take public transportation, and the chronic stress that comes with living on the margins in this country. The odds are stacked against the nation's poor as they try to navigate this health crisis. That's why NCCF's work is as important as ever. You are providing life-changing services to support both families and societal change. You have stayed open during the pandemic to make essential support services available so the community that counts on this assistance would not be abandoned. But this should come as no surprise to anyone who is familiar with this organization and its history. NCCF's commitment goes back more than 100 years, when the Baptist Home for Children first opened on Newton Street in Northeast DC. I was thinking about just how much this organization has seen during these ensuing 100 years. World wars, the Depression, the Civil Rights Movement, the Spanish flu of 1918. And always the worries were the same. How can you continue to deliver such much-needed services despite the many events happening in the world around you? In 1917, the president of the board of Lady Managers stated, "This financial worry is our worst trouble. We know that these are war days, days of real and abiding trouble, days when our hearts are torn between many ways to serve. But the little ones within our gates may not be set aside any more than the blessed children far away who are passing through such days of misery and woe." It can feel overwhelming, the immense need and despair in the world and how that is impacting families and children. But NCCF reminds us, as the president of the Board of Lady Managers implored in 1917, to look to our own community and help. We live in one of the most affluent regions in the world, and yet the need is great here too, as vulnerable children and families grappling with the economic and social hardships of living in poverty. NCCF shines a spotlight on that need. From a historical orphanage for 14 homeless children to an institution dedicated to meeting the ever-changing and evolving needs of families, NCCF has taken its supporters and champions on a journey, showing us what it truly means to support children and families impacted by poverty, homelessness, domestic violence, neglect, and other crises. Marriott and our associates have been proud to support your incredible work for years. Longtime Marriott executive Bill Shaw led one of NCCF's more ambitious capital campaigns back in 2000, which renovated the 13-acre campus in Bethesda. I want to acknowledge Bill's leadership role in Marriott's long-standing relationship with NCCF. Our relationship with NCCF has continued. Our associates have loved rolling up their sleeves on your campus and collecting backpacks and school supplies for the Neediest Kids program. So tonight, I am humbled to accept this recognition on behalf of Marriott and all of our associates. At 93 years young, Marriott has a legacy of service to our communities that started with our founders, Jay Willard and Alice Marriott in Washington, D.C. It's a part of our DNA, and it's been my privilege to be a steward of this core value of our founders and our company. I want to thank Cheryl Brissett Chapman and your leadership team, as well as Louis Askew and the board, for all you have done to support our local community. To my fellow honorees, congratulations to you as well. You are role models. Thank you for all the great work you're doing in our community and beyond. We don't know when this pandemic will end and our communities will return to some sense of normalcy, but we do know that working together, we can all make a difference. Thank you again for this wonderful recognition.